weather with meteorologist Julia Blanchett.
Good morning and happy Thursday. You're almost to the end of the week. And the end of the week brings a little bit of a surprise for us here in western Colorado. But today will feel just like the last several days here in Grand Junction because we have triple-digit heat yet again. So if you want to get outside today, you'll want to do so early this morning rather than later in the afternoon hours. We're getting to 95 degrees by around lunchtime. And then eventually we're getting to 101 degrees, which would definitely count as breaking a record high for Grand Junction. But the record-breaking heat actually goes away. I mentioned we have a little bit of surprise in store, and that is a little bit of rain. So let's talk about rain because we haven't seen much of it at all this year in any way, shape, or form. We also didn't see much snow. We've been in a severe drought, but all of western Colorado is actually expected to see a little bit of moisture enter the forecast, and we're excited to have moisture entering the forecast. But starting with Grand Junction, Friday and Saturday, a 10% chance for a little bit of rain. There will be rain clouds above head. A lot of it could evaporate before it reaches the ground. Per usual, we have a tendency for making that happen. But for Grand Junction, Sunday, Monday, and all the way to Tuesday and even Wednesday, we'll be seeing probabilities that are actually a lot higher. We'll start to move to the 30 percentile, 40, and then even the 50 by the end of the week. But for other locations like Montrose, Delta, and Cortez, there will be more probability to see rain earlier on, and there will be more probability to see more rain by the end of the next 5-day period. So we're definitely expecting a little bit of a shift in our weather. We are in need of the moisture because of all the fire danger. A little bit of thunder and lightning might come with this, so we're hoping to leave that behind. But talking about Friday, the first day for possible moisture. Friday, it looks like the excessive moisture is staying away from Grand Junction, also including the Palisade area and extending all the way to Fruita. But we are going to see an elevated risk all the way down in the San Juan Mountains, the Four Corners region, and then way up towards the high country. The high country is seeing a lot of moisture in and out and back and forth. But on Saturday, we become included in the excessive moisture. Thankfully, Grand Junction joins the picture, and so does most of western Colorado. But quickly, let's talk about what we're expecting in terms of moisture in what places. And it's important before we talk about quantitative precipitation that you know we're talking about every 7 days. So over the next 7-day period, certain areas which are highlighted in purple, highlighted in red, those areas could see all the way up to 0.175, all the way up to 2 inches of moisture. And that would be again over 7 days. But for Grand Junction, some of these other areas, we're looking more blue or green, so that could be anywhere from 0.75 inches of moisture over 7 days all the way up to about 1.25 inches of moisture. So moisture is on the way, and this time, for the first time this summer, that actually looks pretty probable. Lastly, let's talk about forecasted highs for today, because if I haven't mentioned your location, you're not forgotten about because it is still hot. Meeker, 94 degrees, Cold Brown, 97 today, and in Delta, 103, Montrose, 97, and Cortez, 98. Overnight lows are still extremely warm as well. We're looking at 70 degrees overnight in Grand Junction, but for the rest of western Colorado, we'll be in the 60s or the 50s. So power through the heat. It will only last a little bit longer. You'll definitely notice that cooling trend when you take a look at the 7-day forecast, because 101 degrees and then 99 tomorrow eventually turns into cooler conditions when we have that rain finally entering the picture. And once we jump to the Montrose area, we're expecting to see 97 degrees, and that 97 degrees will get us to 94 before we get to more moisture down the line at a 40 to 50% chance. So it's a lot more likely they see heavy rain in Montrose. Same with the Delta area, heavier rain expected. We're getting all the way to a 50% chance for rain Monday and Tuesday. And then for the Cortez area, last but not least, it's going to be really warm, about 98 degrees and 96 degrees over the next 2 days, but more moisture on the way, finally getting to a 50% chance by Monday.